Okay, so now we're going to move on in exploring finding scholarly research articles for your topic through the library's databases. We do have almost 150 databases, so there are some specific databases that I think will be helpful for you in looking for articles for your thesis. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do the general Ebsco search. What do I mean by that? Then we're going to do a search in Jstor. So Ebsco search is starting here, the general articles tab here from the library's homepage. And I'm going to start again with my search that we were doing in the book search, U.S. Invasion Bay of Pigs. I have my list of 765 results, and just taking a quick look here, I see that there are some things on this list that I'm not interested at all. These one-page reference results here are not going to be helpful for me in my scholarly research for my thesis project, right? So how do I refine this list quickly? Let's just get started on that. One way over here on the left side, again, this is, I mentioned it's like online shopping. Let's go ahead and get this list down. One way is to limit to peer reviewed. And what do I mean by that? I mean that these articles have gone through an extensive process. The scholars who have written these articles have to submit these to a panel of their peers. They've been reviewed. It's a couple of year process. It's rigorous. So by the time it reaches publication, is in one of these databases, it's been through quite a lot. And so this is why we refer to scholarly peer-reviewed articles. And once you do that, it doesn't mean that it's absolutely scholarly peer-reviewed. Sometimes in this list, you may find things like book reviews that slip through the filters, but it does help because now we're down to 183 results as opposed to 670. Over here, publication date, I'm going to keep that. That's relevant because we're looking at a historical subject. If I were a nursing student, I might want the last 5 or 10 years, but for our purposes, we'll just keep that publication date alone. So that's one way I would immediately narrow the list. Then just taking a look here, let's see, like for example, this one looks like it might be interesting because I'm interested in the failure of policy. So let's go ahead and open this up. We click on it here. This takes us right into the record. And, it tells us a little bit about the author's affiliation with the university at the time. And you have your abstract here, and you can decide whether or not this is something that you're interested in. If you are, you can just go ahead and add it to the folder over here on the right with your tools. And as you're looking through your list, you can add things to your folder. Just make sure that you do email those to yourself before you close out of this session. You can individually email it, you can cite it, and you can also export it to various citation managers such as RefWorks. So if you decide that you like it, the PDF full text of the article is available here. Also, just like with the catalog and the book search, you can see here that we have subject terms, so that this may be a way that you would like to change your search and narrow your list. So we could go ahead and click on Bay of Pigs Invasion Cuba. And again, 630 results. So this is searching articles that have all been cataloged with this specific term. We could do something like add failure to our search here just to narrow it. And that may be something that is more helpful. Again, you have to limit again to peer reviewed. And then this gets us down to a very specific list. So that I hope would be helpful and that you would be finding some articles that are helpful for you. So now we're going to pop over to Jstor, and an easy way to get back to the library's homepage is just to click our icon there, and we're back on the homepage. Go back to articles, and here's, you can either get to it databases A to Z, or here's Jstor right here. And I always just go right to the advanced search. It's just an easier way to navigate Jstor. So again, US invasion, Bay of Pigs. Okay, so here we are with some of our, we have 9,000 results. That's quite a lot. Let's see what, right away, we get anatomy of a failure, the decision to land at Bay of Pigs. Here's an analysis, more analysis as well. So a lot of these look like depending on what direction you want to go with your research, there are quite a few articles that come right up that look like that they would be really useful on this topic. We go back up to the top here. I just want to show you that you can search within these results. So let's say we wanted to search Kennedy, for example. Okay, so for example, the first article, it did cut the results list about in half. Just notice that. Oops, I didn't mean to limit to journals there, but we also have journals, book chapters as well. But let's say you're wondering how significant, how much do they talk about Kennedy, for example, in this article. So what you can do is you can go ahead and open this here, and this takes you right into the article. Well, then either Control F or Apple F, you can go ahead and search Kennedy. And it's coming up for me, I don't know if you can see it with the recording, but it is telling me that there's 75 mentions of the word Kennedy in this article. So that's pretty significant. So if you had a topic that you wanted to try to narrow this list, this is one way to do it, and also to determine if this might be an article that's relevant for you. So back on this main page where we started with our initial searches and we limited, and then we added the search term Kennedy. Let's say I decided that I would like these 3 articles, this information emailed to myself. You can download the articles like I showed you just a minute ago. Also, you can export if you do have rough works, and I'll talk to you about that in class, how you can do that. But these are some ways that you can export the citation and the information about the article to yourself. You can cite it here as well. Once you have opened that document again, if you see the share button here, you can email it to yourself as well this way. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to go ahead and do some sample searches in both the Ebsco general search and Jstor.